Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, I'm joined once again by Scott Ellam, CEO of XCE Connecting Excellence Group. The company is set to begin trading on the OTCQB under the ticker XCELF, expanding its presence into the US market alongside its existing London listing. Scott, welcome back to the watch list.
Thanks for having me, Ricky. Good to be here.
So, Scott, for our US investors who may be new to Connecting Excellence, can you explain your business model in simple terms and how you make money, what drives growth, what are the key risks?
Yeah, of course. So XCE Connecting Excellence Group has a flagship operating business called Spencer Riley, and that's been running profitably since 2014. And it's an international executive recruitment company. So we work with the big four. We work with business advisory firms that people will recognize around the world. We work with logistics firms, AI, intelligence and data monitoring businesses, and life science companies. And we place senior level candidates in the US predominantly, UK, Europe, Middle East, and then other areas around the world on occasion. And those might be vice president level, director level, or partner level candidates that we're placing with our clients. So that's how we generate our core revenue. And that revenue is uncorrelated to the treasury asset which we hold. And we've been buying Bitcoin as our primary reserve treasury asset since 2021 as a private business. And we recently listed on the AQUS market in the UK and raised capital. We raised 3.3 million with a several times oversubscribed IPO recently. And we've purchased Bitcoin with capital raised. And then we've issued XCE Bitcoin bonds as well. So the business is an operational business that places senior level candidates around the world, and effectively all surplus cash and capital markets products such as the bonds and such as capital raises is geared towards buying more Bitcoin and increasing the Bitcoin per share for our investors over the long term. And then that ties in with a talent acquisition strategy. So the way you drive more revenue into an executive recruitment company is attracting revenue generating talent. And we now do that with the PLC status, the Bitcoin treasury, and we're able to offer performance-based share options to attract high billing staff from our competitors and build the team further and continue compounding that revenue growth.
Great. And then how does this new listing on the OTCQB improve US investor access and liquidity compared to your London listing? And how are you ensuring it becomes an actively traded US stock rather than just a secondary quote?
Well, more than 30% of our uncorrelated revenues are done from the USA and other areas in North America as well, Ricky. And the way in which we manage that side of the business, the operational side of the business, means we're consistently networking with US clients and senior US leaders. By being listed on the OTCQB, we are now able to access institutional investors in the US, and retail investors can join the journey as well from the US. So in terms of driving liquidity and volume over this year as we keep building on the platform, I'll be over in the USA shortly, meeting with institutional investors, talking to them about our long-term strategy, and then hopefully welcoming them onto the journey as well.
Amazing. And so what makes your current leadership team, present company included, the right group to execute this strategy? And what gives you confidence you can deliver long-term shareholder value?
Well, as an international headhunting firm, I needed to ensure that we built a very strong board for the capital markets delivery and execution. So we have Sam Roberts, who is the first person in Britain to lead a British pension fund allocation to Bitcoin. So has strong capital markets experience. Then we have Richard Byworth, who's British, living in Switzerland, and launched the largest hedge fund in Switzerland over the last 10 years, which is Bitcoin denominated and holding 5,000 Bitcoin. So has a very strong network within the institutions who are interested in this space. And he also has a background over at Nomura, running their convertible bonds, futures and derivatives desk. And I think one of the largest desks in the world at the time. And then we have Vijay Selvam, who is ex-Goldman Sachs, head of governance, wrote a book on Bitcoin called Principles of Bitcoin, and is currently with a NASDAQ-listed digital asset exchange, and also has a strong network in the capital markets and a strong understanding of the capital markets. And for our longer term ambitions, we want to build the balance sheet to a sizable amount and then drive liquidity and volume into the business as well, and then begin preparing for and considering main market listings at the appropriate time in the future. And we have a CFO who is experienced in preparing businesses for main market listings as well, in Angus Gladish. So we've got a very strong capital markets team to drive the Bitcoin Treasury side of the business forward. And then we have a strong operational and experienced team driving the executive recruitment side of the business forward. And we want to continue building that operational team out as a result of our talent acquisition strategy as well. So I believe we've got a good team together to deliver.
And of course, led by a fantastic CEO as well. You didn't mention that.
Well, part of the reason they've joined, Rick, is not just what you said there. I'll take that compliment lightly. But because I began buying Bitcoin in 2021 at probably a peak in the price and continued to buy every day and every week throughout a drawdown, and then right back up to where we are today and where we were last year, they understand that I have the conviction to continue this strategy, not with the 4-year history into the future, whether you say 40 years or not, Ricky. I'm not sure I've got 40 in me, but over the next 40 years. And I think it's that confidence in the conviction that's allowed us to attract a serious capital markets team to the business.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Scott.
Thanks, Ricky.
Once again, that is Scott Ellam, CEO of XCE Connecting Excellence Group. For more on the company and its new OTCQB listing under XCELF, visit xce.io. That's all for this episode of The Watch List. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.